Every great piece of research begins with a question, and every publication begins with a purpose. A very good evening to you all. With a sense of joy and academic pride, I extend a warm welcome to each of you to this 5 days virtual faculty development program on Penning with Purpose, Mastering the Art of Research and Publications, organized by the Marian Research Forum of St. Mary's College, Autonomous, Thuthukudi. This FDP is a continuation of our college's enduring commitment to academic excellence, a legacy built on the belief that research is not merely the pursuit of knowledge, but also the act of giving meaning, direction, and depth to that pursuit. Each session is designed not merely to inform, but to inspire and empower us to transform our research into meaningful contributions to academia and society. During these 5 days, our distinguished resource persons from Madras Christian College, Chennai, will share their expertise and guide us through the crucial stages of research and publication. Through these sessions, we hope to gain not only technical knowledge, but also a renewed sense of purpose to write with clarity, authenticity, and impact. With that spirit, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Reverend Sister Dr. Kulandai Teres, Secretary, Reverend Sister Jessie Fernando, Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. M.S. Edilarasi, Deputy Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. R.K. Janeshis Alphonse, Director of Self-Supporting Courses, and Reverend Sister Rita, Controller of Examinations, for their constant support in all their endeavors. I also extend a warm welcome to all the eminent resource persons from MCC who have graciously accepted our invitation to share their expertise with us. I also take this opportunity to welcome all faculty participants and research scholars from our own institution, as well as from various other institutions who have joined us for this intellectual journey. Your presence enriches this platform and reminds us that learning is truly a collective endeavor. May this FDP ignite new ideas, strengthen our scholarly pursuits, and help us all pen with purpose. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
I now invite Reverend Sister Dr. Oroke Janishis Alphonse, Director of Self-Supporting Courses, to felicitate the gathering.
Good evening to everyone who was connected through Google Meet for this program. On behalf of the management, I wholeheartedly congratulate and appreciate the Marian Research Forum for organizing 5 days faculty development program on mastering the art of research and publications. This is a wonderful initiative that will help faculty members improve their research skills and understand the publication process better. In today's academic world, strong research and quality publications are very much important, and this program will surely guide the participants in the right direction. I thank all the resource persons for sharing their valuable knowledge and experience related to publications and research. I sincerely appreciate the efforts taken by the Research Forum to make this event a success. I wish all the participants a fruitful and enriching learning experience. Once again, congratulations to the members of the Marian Research Forum for this great step towards the academic growth and excellence. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister. I now invite Dr. Betsy to introduce the speaker of today's session.
With immense pleasure, I introduce today's distinguished resource person, Dr. R. Vijay Solomon, Assistant Professor of Chemistry and Associate Dean for Research and Development at Madras Christian College, Chennai. Dr. Vijay Solomon obtained his PhD in computational chemistry from Bharatdasan University in 2013 and joined the Department of Chemistry at Madras Christian College in 2016 after completing his postdoctoral research at the University of South Carolina, USA, and the University of Basel, Switzerland. A dedicated and an inspiring researcher, Dr. Solomon's research excellence has been widely recognized. He received the DST SERB Early Career Research Award in 2018, an institutional grant from United Board of Christian Higher Education in Asia, USA in 2019, and the Madras Christian College Alumni Publication Award in 2020. His commitment to academic innovation is evident from his completion of a certificate course on teaching and learning from Harvard University in 2021. And he was honored as the outstanding professor of Madras Christian College in 2022. Most recently, in 2025, he was conferred the Young Scientist Award by the Academy of Sciences, Chennai, for his outstanding research publications. Dr. Solomon has an impressive publication record with over 125 research articles in reputed journals and has delivered more than 120 invited lectures across diverse research domains. He also serves as the coordinator of Madras Christian College Research Colloquium, a virtual community learning initiative launched in 2020 to foster a vibrant research culture at Madras Christian College. Currently, he guides three PhD scholars, with one having successfully completed the doctorate under his mentorship. With his vast experience, global exposure, and passionate approach to research, Dr. Solomon truly embodies the spirit of academic excellence and innovation. On behalf of the entire Marian fraternity and the participants of this FDP, I extend a warm virtual welcome to Dr. R. Vijay Solomon as he leads us into today's enlightening session titled Kickstart the Research.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction, and I thank the St. Mary's College management for having such a wonderful, thoughtful 5-day FDP here. And I'm very close to Thuthukudi. I'm from Tirunelveli, so I'm not, even though I'm in Chennai, I'm very close to Thuthukudi. And this program is in a long pending program with MCC. We have been contemplating on to have a kind of interaction with St. Mary's, and finally the day has come, and we are kickstarting the process of having a connection between St. Mary's and Madras Christian College. And today, being the day one, I would like to talk about the kickstart your research journey. So this is an important aspect when you think about going for a publication or doing a research. So today I'm going to share 10 strategies that will help you to think of publication in reputed index journals. So all these strategies that I customize, and we have been practicing in Madras Christian College, and it gives some kind of success. So I would like to share the strategy. Now, I have given the outline in the following way: this current scenario and where to start, how to conduct manuscript writing processes, index journals and guidelines, and some kind of question answer if time permits. The problem with most of us is doing research with a kind of workload that we have. We're all assistant professors or associate professors with 16 plus hours of teaching load. Along with that, we have some extension program, administrative duties, and so on. And then we have our own family to, uh, you know, uh, have. So the starting trouble is the issue. So when you join as a faculty, or you may be a an excellent teacher, a seasoned researcher, and so on, but everyone invariably will have this starting trouble, where to start. So mm, some of the faculty members have been doing PhD. For them, publications are mandatory. Some of you, or most of you, would have completed your PhD, and then now you may say that, yeah, I have done my job and I have got the degree. Now what to do? But that is not the case, because we are in the race, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. All our institutions are lined up for the ranking. So NIRF is giving a much weightage to research, 15% of overall the score. So we want to have the research. So when you think about the research output, can you quickly, use your chat box and just say that how do you measure research output? You can use the chat box. I can also view that. I'll open the chat box. How do you measure the research output or the indicators, metrics quickly? We don't have time, right? Just use your chat box. Just say that. If you're worrying, I'll just start with the research publications is one of the indicators with which we can understand the research output. So like that, what are things that you can have? We have 101 participants. So quickly, if you get 2, 3 in the chat box, I'll be happy. So usually we used to say in the classroom, like physically present, mentally absent. Here, virtually present. Yeah, consultancy services, project proposals. One more, and then we'll go ahead. Project, yeah, project we got. Consultancy project. Then, how do you measure the research output as far as the college faculty is concerned? One more and this video. Publication with I mentioned that yes, publication. Okay, so let us see here. Thank you so much for the answers. First, research publications and basics. Second one, as many would have said that research projects. Then patents. Now we say that publications, projects, and patents are the 3 P's which are very important. Of course, once you publish, where you publish, and then how about their citations and the other metrics, collaborations, your institutions and the other institutions. What about your collaborations and collaborators? How many people are guiding? Whether you have a PhD program, then how many research scholars are there? And if not, you are having PG program, how many projects that you are guiding? Research presentations in conferences. So how many students or how many faculty members are going out and presenting their presentations, their research works in conferences? Consultancy, as rightly mentioned by one of the participants here, books and book chapters. You can think of publishing books and book chapters. And how many times you have been invited to share your research insights in various forums, the national and the international forums. So I have collected these 10 as research output. This I prepared for our college, and then I said that if you can contribute in research for our college, try to think of all these things, and you may can count 11 and 12. So now the point here is the science does not exist until it is published. Although whatever the thesis that we do, everything is a scientific work which has a research question, which has a methodology, which involves a human workload, and we are writing and we are submitting as a thesis, or we are writing as a book chapter or a publication. And if that is the case, and as per the statement, if you did not publish, or if you are not going to publish, actually you are not doing the work. That is a very simple term. If anyone says that I know Python programming, then immediately we'll be asking, do you have the certification? Certification is evident that yes, he has the skill of doing Python programming. So similarly, if you do not have a publications, then the world will not accept that you are an expert in that particular field. Now, some of the terms that are very, very important. Number one is peer review. It is like most commonly used word in our academic fraternity, whether it's a peer review journal, then is it an international journal? Did you pay for this journal? Or no, we have to pay so that we can get the high impact factor journal and so on. So if you say that, and then Scopus and Web of Science, again the key terms, these are all the keywords. And then people used to say that I have submitted a manuscript to a journal, Scopus journal, and I am getting the rejection. Now let us start understanding these terms. Peer review process is a process. It is taking some time, right? So when you say that the first one, we will start with when you submit a paper, it will be submitted to the editorial board or the office. The editor will assess the paper, and if the journal or the manuscript is not up to the mark, they will reject at this stage. We call that as an editorial rejection. The rejection may be from the poor structuring of your manuscript, or falls outside the scope of the manuscript or any other term. They will not send it for the review. If your work is crossing this stage, the editor will send the paper to review. Now, at this stage, 90% of the papers are rejected at editorial stage. Because when you submit a paper to a premier journal, the premier journal is getting a lot more than what they can accommodate. So, if suppose on a given day 100 articles are submitted, they will reject 90% of article, citing various reasons. So, first thing is if our work has a quality, if our work is directly aligning with the objectives of this journal, definitely it will be going to the review process. So, the first hurdle is crossing the editorial test or editor's test. Once that is done, it will be sent to the reviewers, and reviewers will take some time, and then they will send back the comments to the editor. Editor will assess the comment, and then editor may take a decision rejected, or they may give option or opportunity for the authors to revise revisions. Then authors revise with the timeline of 3 months or 15 days or 6 months. They will resubmit, and again they will be the manuscript will be assessed by the editor, again sent back to the reviewer. Reviewers will assess the manuscript once again, and if they say accepted, then your paper will go to the production and finally publication. At this stage also they may say that okay, your work is not up to the mark, even after giving a revision opportunity, that is not up to the mark, so the paper is rejected. So the point here is you may be having a tough time when it comes to rejection, right? At the editorial stage or any point of time. But the peer review process will take time because it has to go through all those steps that I mentioned. So any paper or any journal, if they said that the paper will be accepted in 1 month, 10 days, 3 days, 7 days, 20 days or so, then it will be a predatory journal or a fake journal. You need to understand. Peer review process is a healthy process. Peer review process will check for the quality. Peer review process will assess our content, and they will offer uh, useful suggestions to improve our manuscript that we need to have. I have given a timeline. Now we see that I submitted a manuscript on 6th October 2023. It was with the editor. Editor took how many days? Nearly 11 days. And then editor decided my work has a quality, so that they sent it for review. And October, November, it's a very good journal. So within 1 month and 2 days, the reviewers sent back the comments to the editor. So it is with the editor, decision pending. Editor took 2 days, and then editor said, we are happy with your manuscript, but it needs revisions. The following concerns should be addressed, comments should be taken care of, and these suggestions should be included, and these queries should be addressed. Then they have given 1 month for me. I have started my revision on 21st December morning. I completed the same. Exactly 1 month they have given, and I submitted that. On the same day, it went for the editor. Editor took 2 days with him. Then 24th, again, the editor sent the paper for review, and eventually it got published in the month of January. So I submitted in October, November, December, January. It took 4 months. This is a very quick paper, I would say. Why? Because I have opted for the right journal. So right at the beginning, it crossed the editor's desk. It went for the review. That's the first success. And this journal is very quick because within 1 month and 2 days, they sent the comments, and they have given 1 month for the revision, and I revised, and they have given the comment back within 20 days. So probably within 3 to 4 months, my paper is accepted. That is an excellent journal. So selecting a journal is very, very important, and I will be dealing with detail on day 5. And here you see that there are premier journals which are giving the opportunity for us to look at the status. Now you see that this is a paper that I submitted. They said that when I submitted, they said that review invitation sent to 2+, which means once the paper is received, cross the editorial desk, and the editor will be sending invitation to different reviewers from other countries, preferably, and there are no other has accepted that on that day, so no reviews completed. Okay. That is one part. The second one is another paper where again review invitation sent 2 plus, one is accepted, one the accepted one has already given the comment. But you see, I submitted the paper on 28th April and the status is on 8th May. So within 11 days, the person who accepted has given the comment. So that's really good. But unfortunately, this paper has got rejected and we published the same work in Apple. So what is important when you think about the research publication? Planning is very, very important. You see here, this is a picture that is there in Delhi. This is called Department of Planning. What do you feel? They did not plan well. Department of Planning did not plan well, but that is not the case with research. We really need to plan well. So I'm going to share 10 strategies. The first one, let us start with the plan. So you have to plan well. Peer review process will take time, and therefore we need to plan well. Think of a realistic deadline, pick an index journal. So recently I got a call from one of the faculty members from different institutions, and she was explaining the problem that she encounters when she wants to submit the thesis, and she really wants to have a paper in hand before submitting the thesis. And then I asked her, when is your deadline? You really want to go for index journal? I'm really happy to help you, but when is the deadline? Sir, next Wednesday is a deadline, and can you suggest a Scopus index journal? Very sorry. It will take time. Is it a 1 month problem or 1 month journey or 3 months journey or 6 months? We do not know. I have shown a case where the paper is published in 4 months. That is a greatest, that's the quickest stuff, right? But we cannot guarantee that every time that this is like 3 months job. When I submitted a paper, it went for the review, and after 3 months, the reviewers have given a lot of comments, and then they said that no, your paper is rejected. Then I am coming back to square one. I have to start afresh, finding a journal, submitting that. Then again, it will take time. So, in my experience, I would suggest the same thing to my PhD students. If you want to get a paper, you have to keep 1 year deadline. If your work is done and you are done with your writing, if you are submitting on October 22nd today or 21st, October 21st today, then your paper will be accepted in a good index journal by October 21st. You keep 1 year ahead. If you are so good with your content and if you are fortunate, you can get your paper done in 3 months. Before this year, you will get it. Sometimes it will take time. So we do not know. It needs a lot of skill in identifying the journal. Okay, so this is very, very important. And think of a realistic deadline, meaning that I said that if you want to go for next year's synopsis, plan well. If you are going to go for like 6 months, please plan well. Realistic deadline, always picking next journal. Now there is no UGC CAT. So there is no UGC CAT, and the universities are keep on changing their norms. Like Scopus and Web of Science, sometimes even in Scopus and Web of Science, certain journals are there and then removed and so on. So this is important stuff. Now, what we actually do when you think of a problem, uh, probably like when you are traveling in a bus and you feel that, oh, this is a real problem, and we want to do that, then immediately you frame some questions. Okay, let me do this. For example, GST, or for example, Google Pay. Now, invariably, everywhere you see that the Google Pay, even a small shop, without a name board, has Google Pay. Even a small vendor or like street vendor with Pani Puri, again, GP, you can do the GP and so on. If suppose you want to say, okay, let me do a study, that's interesting. How GPay improved economy of rural areas of Tamil Nadu, taking Thoothukudi as reference, let's say. You will think of the problem. Immediately, what you will do? You'll frame the research questions. Okay, these are the research questions, and let us do a design. Okay, I want to go and do a survey. I want to go and do an interview. I want to go and do data collection. Then I'll start with that. This is what we do. How many of you say that yes, we will perfectly follow this? Can you say yes in the chat box? Come on, one or two yes. And you can unmute and you can ask, talk. You're fine with that? This is how you will do, yes or no? How do you design your work? Or the other way around, something. If you're doing perfectly like that, identifying a problem, think of a research question, design a study, and then you go for the data collection and work. Yes? Anyone in the chat box? Or you can unmute and you can share your experience. Absolutely fine. We're virtually connected. Anyone, yes or no? You can agree to disagree. Absolutely no problem. Or am I talking something totally irrelevant? I don't know. Yes, or to get the comment from you. Do you understand my question, first of all? Yeah, yes. Is that the way that you will do? Okay, how unmuted. Yeah, yes, thank you. So this is how we usually do because I got this information from the faculty, but that is wrong. We should not do like that. The moment that you see a problem, then coming up with that. Manuscript to journals or journal to manuscript. So there are two types of a school of thought. The first one is work for the manuscript and look for a journal. Sir, I have 10 thesis with me. That's a social work thesis, all wonderful thesis. Can you help me to convert into journal articles? Because the school of thought, the second one is look at the journals and work on the manuscript. The second one is correct. Look at the journals and work for the manuscript, even if you want to do the same thing. This is the way. Literature review. The moment that you say, okay, I want to do something with GPA and economic impact or growth, let's see that what has happened in the literature. Anyone has worked on that. If the same people have worked on, for example, I know that particular guide has completed 13 theses on a particular topic, and only the change is from Tirunelveli, Thoothukudi, Virudhunagar, Madurai, Kanyakumari, and so on. Impact of mobile phone usage on widows in Tirunelveli, this is one. Impact of mobile phone usage among widows in Thoothukudi, the thesis two. No significant, you know, um, significance in the research questions. You have to see that literature review. You go and see that what has happened in the literature. Then you go for the research gap, what people have done, what people have not done, and what is the research gap. Locate the research gap. You will be having this research gap on day 2 and day 3 and so on. And then research questions. The question should be very strong and followed by the methodology. If you follow in this way, your work will have the amount of intents that the index journals are expecting. The second one, literature review to research is a process. Not I will complete the research and then I want to do the literature review. Many students, when they are writing the thesis, they'll say that, sir, I am writing the literature. I don't understand why you are writing the literature review at the end of the thesis. Okay. So today in Hindu, there is an article published by our principal, Dr. Paul Wilson. I'll share the link to you. It says that Indian students are struggling to publish their works in index journal because they do not have a proper literature review. That was a beautiful article. I'll share the link to you. Just read it. So read the literature to understand the trend in your field. Refer only reputed publishers and journal. Match your expectations, and you are good. You are the good judge for your work. When you do the literature review, you need to know what are the journals that are publishing the similar kind of works. Right? So literature review is very, very important. And I'm suggesting this. Please make a note of these 7 publishing groups: Sage, Elsevier, Springer, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Oxford Press, and IEEE. These 7 publishers are publishing nearly 14,000 to 15,000 Scopus and Web of Science index journals. So you give much priority to the publishers, that is a premium publishers. Then the journals will be premium, and then the papers are authentic. When you refer a fake journal, knowingly or unknowingly, when you submit your paper with fake journals in the reference, the paper will be automatically rejected. This is very, very important. So indexed means as of now, Scopus and Web of Science. Earlier we had UGC CARE, but now the UGC CARE list is dissolved. Okay, Scopus. Many people used to say, "Sir, I want to publish in Scopus journal. I want to publish in like Scopus publication." Scopus is a database. Scopus will not publish any journal. Scopus embrace or like Scopus indexes journals. A lot of journals available. You can create a username and password, and then you can go to the sources and you can check. Similarly, we have another database called Web of Science. The Web of Science, the name that sounds like it is for sciences. No, it is not for sciences. It is common to arts, humanities, languages, sciences, social sciences, and so on. So these people are the first one to curate the citations or like bibliometric, and then started offering the magic term called impact factor. So journals which are indexed in Web of Science are eligible to get the magic term called impact factor. The journals which are indexed in Scopus will have the metric called site score. These two are average number of citations. Again, you can create a free username and password for this Scopus and Web of Science. Here this is Web of Science, and you can go and check. I have given a comparison of Web of Science and Scopus and their premium metrics or features. So 1970s onwards, Web of Science, they were there in the field, and the Scopus is much later, 1996 onwards. Both covers arts, science, humanities, and so on. And the number of papers, journals published in Web of Science is nearly 25,000 journals, and in Scopus it's 30,000 journals. So there are many journals available. You need to be very careful. Then the other important thing is you need to know about the metrics. There are many numbers given here. Site score, impact factor, 5-year impact factor, source normalized impact factor, Simago journal rank, and so on. But let us focus on only two things. One is impact factor, and another one is site score. Impact factor and site score both are measuring the average number of citations. What is average number of citation? You see here they have given a common. They have given formula how they have calculated that. Consider a journal in 2019 publishes 100 articles. In 2020, again it publishes 100 articles. Then in 21, these 200 articles, contributed to totally 400 citations. Citations. So in 2022, the impact factor of this journal is 400 divided by 100 plus 100, 200. So 2, so which means the impact factor is 2. And the journals which are indexed in Web of Science will have the impact factor. No other journals will have the impact factor. So when you crawl the web for any journals, the moment that you see that impact factor, please come and check in Web of Science. Just go and type the journal name and see if that the journal is there, then it may have an impact factor. If the journal name is not there, then it will not have the impact factor. Okay, this is clear? Right. So next we'll move on to site score is given by Scopus as mentioned. And this is a idea. They're also having the 4 years, but they will take simply average. 4 years, how many papers published, how many citations that they receive. Right? See here 165 documents in the year 2017 to 20. And how many citations? 1220. So this divided by this average. They are also giving a site score tracker, and every month on 5th it will be updated. So this is the last year tracker. This is this year 2021, and the site score will be freezed in the month of June. Okay, for a year, but this is a tracker. So you can see that last year it is 7.4. This is 7.3, which means this journal is really good, performing, in a nice way. Sometime last year it's 7.4, this year is 1.1, which means the journal becomes highly unpopular. Don't pick that. Now, strategy 3, journals indexed. Journals means only in indexed. Only in indexed. So I said that it is like the Web of Science and Scopus. So pay attention to research metrics, whether it has impact factor, it has a site score, whether the journals are good or not. That is very, very important. Understand and appreciate the quality. Always when you read the paper in the index journal, you should say that, wow, this journal looks very good. This paper is really interesting. When you feel that, or when you get the sense that this paper is really good, then I think you are a researcher. If you are collecting your journals or papers for the sake of adding to the literature review, no, you have to read the paper, and when you appreciate, automatically you say that okay, when I start designing my work should be like that. You will automatically get that. Okay, rule of thumb in writing. Okay, so when you say that you have a topic that will be refined to get the questions, once the question is that, then you will be going for the methods, optimize the research design. Then you think of a variable, collecting the data, analyze the data, interpret the data, write the results and discussions part, and add the conclusions. This is a research journey, and you have to start. Okay, so when you see that I'm ready with all my results and other thing, what will be the first one to do? Okay, I did not say that. This Elsevier has given the guidelines. First, prepare the figures and tables. You have like 7 to 8 analysis. What do you want to do? You want to do a table, or you want to create a figure, or you want to come up with a graph, or you want to design a flow chart. Please do that first. Once you finish that, you arrange that. Okay, and when you arrange the results in tables and figures and in order, you will get the storyline ready. Okay, I'm going to do this. After that, I'm going to talk about this. After that, I'm going to talk about this, and so on. And once that is done, write the methods. Why people are insisting writing methods? Because we know pretty sure that what we have done, and it is easy. Always, when you start writing, we need to have some confidence. Otherwise, when you want to write the introduction and the other thing, you will be thinking a lot, and it will be a dragging process. So, the suggestion is write the methods first, then write the results, because the results we know, we have done this analysis, and the results are this. You can easily write. Once that is done, then start the discussion, interpret the results, and the discussion part you can complete. Once that is done, write a clear conclusion. Once the conclusion is done, now think of writing introduction, because conclusion should be the answer to the research questions. Sometime we may think that we with some intention we will start the research, and the results may be a different. For instance, I tell you the story. When we had analysis about the publications in Madras Teaching College, I was inducted into IQAC in the year 2020, heading criteria in three research part for the last 6 years. The one thing that I told my principal, that I really want to have a study about the system, what is lacking. And as per our NAC previous report, we submitted a lot of journals for NAC, but they curated very less amount of journals, and remaining journals are the papers are removed, and so on. So the point is, then I realized that, and my hypothesis is, okay, when we give the correct orientation, people can publish in right journals. Only thing, they did not know where to search and where to publish. And the last 6 years, we conducted more than 200 and probably 240, 250 programs for our faculty members, and now everybody is thorough with what is Scopus and what is Web of Science, and they did not publish in fake journals. Absolutely fine. My hypothesis is, if you give awareness, the number of publications will increase. And as a result, our publication is improved from 70 to 130. But sadly, the awareness that we have given is stop predatory publications, but that is not directly proportional to the amount of papers in index journal. So when I want to write this as a paper, initial hypothesis is not the good one. So in the introduction, I will just tweak my hypothesis that whether awareness improves stopping the predatory journals, whether that will improve the publication Web of Science index journal, that is a question. Then write abstract. Many a time, what happens when you suddenly see a call for papers in a journal or a conference, immediately you write the abstract. No, don't do that. Abstracts are 7. Then you write the title, which is very concise and apt. Then keywords for indexing, and write up the references. So this is the order with which you need to do. And finally, don't forget to mention the acknowledgement. Any paper that you publish, kindly mention that, or kindly acknowledge the management of the college. They have given a job to us, that is like in a daily I'm eating the bread because of my college. So I will always acknowledge the help rendered by our institution. So that is how we need to do. Strategy 4, read and write. Finally, is your logical flow. I said that the story should be very clear and pay attention to prepare the manuscript, and you give much efforts to create a figures, tables, and flowcharts. It is all about telling a story. If your story is not that great, okay, whatever the work that you do, that will not be helpful in publishing your papers. Now, when it comes to writing papers, we have a separate session on day 3, but I will just give a glimpse that what should be done. Okay. So, if you say that the abstract, or like, title, if you see that it indicates a content and main, it should be short and simple, and you avoid the jargon and so on. The second one, abstract. The style is usually it's a past or a perfect tense, and it should be past passive voice, short and concise, no citations, tables, equations, references, and so on. And clearly you explain what was done, what was found, what are the main conclusions, and it should be a summary in numbers. Then introduction. Introduction is a story that you kickstart. When you narrate a story, once there was a king, and immediately everybody will be happy to listen to you, right? The same thing you need to do. Introduction is like introduce a topic. Simple tense you use to establish your knowledge. There are past tense for the literature review. Um, you make sure that you have a logical proofs, right? And your terminologies should be defined when used for the first time. Then methods, no hidden agenda. Whatever you have done, you have to explain everything in nature, everything in a very systematic way. Let SBS know we know, and don't hide anything, and make sure that the methods are robust. The resultant discussions, and this is very, very important. You can use past tense and use tables and graphs a lot here in this resultant discussions section. Some manuscripts are, some journals are expecting you to write the results separately and the discussion, and most of the science journals, it's resultant discussion together. But make sure that you are addressing the questions that you raise in the introduction. Conclusion being the last part of the manuscript, you make sure that what is your objectives, methodology, and the results that you are obtained, and do not recapitulate the results but make statements, and you can say that strong statements like we infer and so on. Do not hide any unexpected results because that may be very, very important for future results. So I have just given a glimpses, and this is a length of the manuscript, ideal length of the manuscript prescribed by Elsevier. Okay, the title, how it should be, it's a short and informative. Abstract should be 250 words or less than 250 words. Introduction, methodology, result discussion, conclusion, figures, tables, references. So this is important stuff, but we will have a separate session on writing. So deliver the expected. This is very, very important. Strategy 5, need to know what reviewers and editors look for in your domain. Structure the manuscript in a very vital way, and be honest. Whatever we have done, yes, we have done this. Okay, conducting a study in a particular part of Kutukudi and telling that entire Tamil Nadu is like that, or entire India is like that, right? When you see that publication culture, people used to go for multidisciplinary. Please avoid publishing multidisciplinary, and please and never ever spend money to publish a paper, right? If at all you want to publish a paper, you really need to know whether they are from the indexed journal. For example, this is the Elsevier. The lowest amount that they accept, if it is a hybrid journal, which means they accept both subscription and open access, which means when you submit a paper, pick a hybrid journal. I just quickly explain what is hybrid journal and open access journals. We will have the session on day 5. Hybrid is like it is a subscription and open access, which means they will not demand money, but if you want your paper to be open access, you can pay and publish. For example, here the highest amount is $5,900, which means like nearly 4.5 lakhs you need to pay for one journal. But the good thing is it's a hybrid, which means they will not ask for the payment as soon as your paper is accepted. But if you wish your paper should be open access and publicly the PDF should be ready, everyone should read, then you can pay the amount. So that is all hybrid. Open access means you have to pay. So So before checking the journal, before picking the journal, you need to very thorough with whether the journal is there or not, right? In open access or subscription. Okay. Now, this journal, many people you say, sir, if we pay a lot, then paper will be accepted quickly. No, you see here, this is a journal. That journal asking article processing charges 3,050, which means you just think about that divided into 85 nice amount, and it will take 221 days to accept, which means nearly 9 months they'll take, and they'll accept only 23%. So you may think I'm ready to pay 2 lakh rupees. Can I get a Scopus indexed journal accepting my paper? No. The indexed journals will accept paper based on the merit, not by the amount that you are ready to pay. This should be very clear, right? So this is very, very important. The other thing is like, I have collected a list of papers which accepts paper with 700 rupees, 950 rupees, 1500 and so on. And I published a paper on that, how Indian researchers are being fooled by these fake journals. When you publish your paper, if you are paying 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, all these papers are published in fake journals, right? This one, the tetrahedral, you see here, this journal tells that it is from Elsevier, it's a premier journal. They said that you can publish your paper until December 31st, it's free. After that, you need to pay $2,500. So when you think about some journals which are relatively new, they are giving some offer, please go and embrace that offer. That is my suggestion. Six, I said never ever pay. I published more than 120 papers and I never ever paid even a single rupee for my any of the papers. I prefer always subscription and always hybrid journals. Open access journals, if I publish, I'll ask for the waivers or any offers. Journals means only index journal. This should be clear in your mind, right? And when you submit a paper, you may encounter a lot of time rejections, right? I said that what is a rejection? That is a rejection is like technical rejection and editorial rejection. The manuscript may be rejected based on the manuscript may be out of the scope of the journal or editor rejected. Reasons for editor: technical rejection, incomplete data, poor analysis, inappropriate methodology, weak research motive, inaccurate conclusions, plagiarism, inappropriate reference format, when your data does not answer the questions posed. And people will be rejecting based on these reasons, and then they will not send you a paper for review. We call it editorial desk rejection. One of my colleagues submitted a paper to a journal, and they clearly wrote that your paper is rejected. Next day, we got a mail, and the reason they stated that we clearly mentioned in the author guidelines that the manuscript should be in 5,000 words. Your paper is 5,016 words, so we are rejecting. And then they said that don't reduce the word count and resubmit. Your paper is rejected means rejected. And that faculty, told that if we could have read the author guidelines carefully, our paper would have gone to review. Now we missed the opportunity. So this is very, very important. Read the author. Editor may be rejected after the technical check. Editor may be rejected based on sometime out of scope, and that's an ethical issue. The proper format is not formed. Necessary details of the readers fully understand or repeat author's analysis, and poor language quality, and loosely presented data, violation of publication ethics, and so on. So editor may be rejected. Consider all these. Strategy 7. Submit your best. Always when you submit your paper, the best should be submitted. Okay, read the recent papers and make sure that your methodologies are correct and up to date. And when you cite the references, recent papers are very, very important. And you should read the aim and scope of the journal. When the journal says Journal of Networking, you may think that Journal of Networking is a computer science journal. Journal of Networking can be a management journal. Networking is a keyword, and it can be a medical journal, neural networking. So really read and check that. The journal is like Journal of Marketing, let's say, and that journal clearly tells that we will not accept papers based on empirical study. If you don't understand that, when you submit your empirical study, it's done. Just a thing, right? Or some journals will expect we want only qualitative, we want only quantitative, we want to have mixed methodology. So read the aim and scope to pick the journal. always, can you tell me the novelty of your work in one liner? Please work on it. Because when you submit your paper to a journal, you cannot write like from to as I'm suffering from fever. Like that, we cannot write the cover letter as I'm submitting the man kindly accept. Nobody will accept. You have to clearly state what's the novelty of the work in the cover letter so that editors will give attention, pay attention to your journal, your paper. So journal selection is very, very important. And when you say that a lot of time, our Tamil Nadu researchers, faculty members from premier institutions, well-established colleges are being fooled or doomed by the fake publishers. Okay, number one institution in NIRF to number 500 in NIRF, everyone is deceived, right? The moment that said that it is Asian journal, universal journal, multidisciplinary, if you go gone, right? So location in developing countries claiming that US, for example, Australian Journal of Advanced Statistics operating from Palangote, right? And then paper will be accepted quickly, promising quick publications, lack of contact details, and so on. So these things are very, very important. We need to be stay away from predatory channels. And many a time we used to get a lot of information through WhatsApp. If you are getting information from WhatsApp, it's fake. Again, I reiterate, if you are getting information from WhatsApp, it's fake. Because no premier journal is starving for manuscripts. They receive more manuscripts than what they can publish. So they will never ever come up with these things. You see here, most of the time they said multidisciplinary publication in 3 days. Opt only for legitimate publishers. Stay away from predatory and clone journal. Do a research before selecting a journal, or check with Madras Christian College Research Colloquium, and we are happy to help you in selecting a journal, narrowing down down to a respective journal. Right? Here is a example. You can just go to Google and type Elsevier call for papers. Then these are the special calls that are there. This is for the Elsevier. Similarly, you go for Sage call for papers. There are different call for papers. For example, you see business and management, climate medicine surgery, education, health and nursing. Based on that, you pick and see that sometime or the most of the time these calls are thematic issues. They will give a deadline like today I am calling for papers and tomorrow is the last date. No, they'll give like 8 months or 9 months. You can actually plan for a while. So I suggest the moment that the MSc students or any students are coming, I'll tell that okay, we would like to submit a paper here, try to work on. The deadline is, if they are asking today, March 2026 is the deadline. So can you work on it so that when you submit your MSc thesis, submit a paper, let's see come what may. Similar, Taylor and Francis is also giving. So the keyword is Sage call for papers, Wiley call for papers, IEEE call for papers, Elsevier call for papers. You will get a lot of things. Strategy 9. Embrace opportunities. Look for the thematic call or special issues. Know about the available journals in your field. When you are from commerce, don't publish in environmental science. If you are from mathematics, don't publish in engineering technology. If you are from engineering college, engineering domain, you publish in engineering. If you are from zoology, you have to publish in zoology. If you are from commerce, you should publish only in commerce journals, not a multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary, and so on. So this is very, very important because most of the time people are like that, right? So very careful. And then when you say that always do we need to do a research and write a full length article like introduction, methodology, result and discussion, conclusions, and so on. Not really. You see here, I have given a list of types of articles. You can write letters, you can write case studies, you can write reports, you can write data set, you can write tutorials, you can write pedagogy, you can write opinion. So pick your stuff, pick your type, and then work. And collect at least 5 articles in your domain in the type. If I want to write an opinion piece, opinion is like what I feel about the issue. So I wrote an opinion and I published it. What I did, I collected 5 opinion pieces, and then I have decoded. What do you mean by decoding? I analyze that how they have written. If it is an opinion, how they have written. If it is a review article, how they have written. If that is a case study, how they have written. And I analyze all these things, and then I wrote a opinion on paper. So this is very, very important. So I quickly look at that. Decoding means how many pages, how many samples, which method to choose, whether this objectives or a questions or a hypothesis how many analysis, what is the reference style, how many days the journal is expected to do. And finally, the 10th strategy is work on your strengths. Pick the right format. You want to write the letter, you write the letter. You want to write the review, you write the review. Decode the format and be a master. Always unlearn to relearn. This is very, very important. And I'm going to give 10 strong statements, which are very, very important. And that is all my personal experience traveling with our own people for more than 6 years and scrutinizing nearly 3,500 journal queries. Say no to multidisciplinary. If anyone is coming with multidisciplinary, please check that usually or 99.9% or 100%, they are all fake journals. That is what I understand. So if it is a multidisciplinary, if it is indexed, then okay. Even if it is indexed multidisciplinary, don't go because we are not doing multidisciplinary. You need to understand. Opt for reputable publishers. I said that 7 publishers starting from Wiley's, Elsevier, Wiley, Sage, IEEE, Oxford Press, Springer, Sage, Taylor and Francis. Please opt for reputable publishers only. Say no to conference publications, especially when UGC CARE was there. Many have gone for conferences and published a paper. And unfortunately, all the papers published through conferences are fake. But university accepted and everyone involved in this entire mass cheating because UGC CARE journals will not accept any conference proceedings unless it is done by the premier society. Prioritize Scopus and Web of Science Index journal. Journal means Scopus and Web of Science. If you are from Tamil, if you are from Sanskrit, if you are from Telugu, then you don't have any option in Scopus and Web of Science. But apart from that, if you are from English and you are telling that you don't have a Scopus list or Web of Science, very sorry, you have 1,000+ journals there for English. Familiarize yourself with the existing literature before formulating your research problem. I said read the literature. For that, you need to know at least 5 journals in your domain. If you do not know what are the papers or what are the journals available in your domain, how do you read? When you are not reading, how do you publish? If you are confident in writing, don't go for plagiarism. I never ever went to check my manuscript for plagiarism because I'm pretty sure that I did not copy from anyone. So if you're confident, plagiarism is not an issue. Accept the publication process to be a time consuming. It will be a year-long process. Once you are done with the research, and it will take 1 year. If you are publishing 3 months, well and good. 4 months, well and good. So 1 year. There are no cheap and best options. There is no cheap and best option. So, sir, anything like 2,000 rupees, never ever pay. If at all you pay, go for premier journal, which will demand in thousands of dollars. Stay informed about journals and current trends. Please read the literature, and you should know about your journals and current trends. Embrace opportunities to expand your knowledge, whether it is a new call, new theme. Read, work, and try to have a time. And with this, I would like to conclude, and I think I've given a comprehensive overview. I know the time is 7:59, so I'm on time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the inspiring and insightful session. Your thoughts on finding a research direction and starting the journey with a purpose definitely given us confidence. I'm sure the practical insights on beginning the research journey have surely motivated us to think innovatively and purposefully. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, any questions that people have, I'm happy to answer it if you have.
Dear participants, the platform is now open for queries and comments. You can post your queries now.
So either you are totally convinced or you did not listen. Only two possibilities if we don't get any questions from the audience. Quality research websites to publish. There's no website, none. What I suggest, like I'll share this particular website. Probably you all can use it. That we have created for our own people. Just go to Google, go to MCC Journal Selection Guide. The first option is Journal Selection Guide. We have given 1,000 journals for all the departments: botany, business administration, chemistry, commerce, communication, computer science, economics, English language and literature, general arts and humanities, geography, history, mathematics, microbiology, philosophy, physical education, physics, political science, psychology, public administration, social work, statistics, and zoology. Click any one, and then you can find, if suppose you click the history, your Excel sheet will be downloaded. It has the Scopus index. So you can see that the history department, look at that, and all these things we have curated for our department, our college faculty. So it's free, you can use. You see here the publisher. You see all most of the publishers that we listed, right? So Taylor and Francis, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Springer, Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Sage, and so on. So 1,000 journals for history department is there, right? We suggest that always go and pick the first 300. That will be good. I'll share the link as well. Yeah. Okay. So what about? Okay. I got few questions. Thank you. It's how to find the true journal in Scopus. Wait for day 5. I'll be giving a detailed demonstration. What about the number of capitalization and the applications required for a Scopus paper, even when we have 4 capitalization and 3 applications? Journal is asking for. You please, Professor Sahana, please read the recent papers, and based on that, you customize. If a premier journal is expecting 4 capitalization and 3 applications, you go for whatever we can do. We can think of a little bit lower end journals. So that is my suggestion. I'll also post a article that featured in today's Hindu. Uh, I think that is really good, and every researcher should read, because this is such an important insights that principal has pointed out, why we are not able to publish our work in premier journals. It's a version. It featured. Okay. Any other question? If we don't have any questions, we can come. Right? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions. It's my privilege to propose the word of thanks on behalf of the Marian Research Forum, St. Mary's College Autonomous, Thuthukudi. A heartfelt thanks to Dr. Vijay Solomon for inaugurating our FDP series with a truly enlightening session on Kickstart the Research. Your valuable insights and simple yet effective strategies have provided a clear direction for aspiring researchers. Your examples and practical tips have made research feel a lot more approachable. Thank you so much, sir. Big thanks to all our participants for your active engagement and enthusiastic participation. We look forward to your presence tomorrow for the next session. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and have a pleasant evening. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you all.